Today's episode is going to be largely focused on an issue the Cervantes Action Group has encountered with the Cervantes Chamber of Commerce. This is a very unexpected turn of events because we had very reasonably hoped for support from the Cervantes Chamber of Commerce in regard to opposing the eco side of fracking, but we very much regret that in response to our application for their support, outlining the irrefutable evidence and the solid reasoning and the huge community groundswell against fracking, 95% of the Cervantes community vehemently opposed to hydraulic fracturing. It wasn't illogical to expect the Cervantes Chamber of Commerce, who are, after all, dependent upon the local populace for their commercial viability. But sadly, the Chamber, unbelievably, has rejected our application for support. What they did say is that they do not support any activity which willfully endangers the environmental, social, cultural or economic fabric of our community. Well, that's a very grand statement, and thank you for that, but if that is the case, why then have they declined to enjoin the community majority's opposition to fracking? It doesn't make sense to us. Point 2 of their letter is that they accept that the Shire of Dandaragan has little or no legal control or influence over granting either exploration or development approvals. We are aware of that, but we disagree with their statement that the Shire of Dandaragan making an anti-fracking position would have no impact. That is completely untrue. Both the Shires of Kuro and Carnamah made public statements of being opposed to fracking in support of the majority community petition, and that does have a very significant impact in that it denies the gas companies social license. That doesn't mean me to say that they can't go ahead, but it does make it difficult because it is an essential prerequisite to have social license. They are denied this emphatically. They go on to say in point 3 of their letter that they understand a select committee of Legislative Council of the State Parliament is currently investigating the issues surrounding unconventional gas extraction and is expected to report to the Parliament within 12 months or so. Any future position taken by the Chamber will be influenced by this report and any environmental impact review published by the EPA and or other scientific bodies. Well, we have in our response advised the Cervantes Chamber of Commerce that the EPA does not do environmental impact assessment or risk assessment. They don't do anything in regard to environmental protection when it comes to fracking. In fact, they have abrogated their entire portfolio of responsibility and handed over the entire box and dice to the Department of Mines and Petroleum for self-regulation, which is in effect putting a rabid fox in charge of the hen house. We have responded very vigorously to this incredible turn of events, pointing out that their ill-advised decision to wait upon any most likely predetermined outcome from any parliamentary committee is inexcusable because it facilitates the unregulated open slather exploratory drilling, and that is made even worse by the giving open slather to the environmental devastating seismic surveys. They are already approved to clear 185 hectares of high quality vegetation and unique wildflower terrain in and around the precious Beekeepers Nature Reserve. These devastating seismic surveys will cite further fracking wells to develop commercial gas fracking fields, and all this is approved in callous disregard of fierce public protest and without any authentic risk assessment whatsoever. Without exception, drilling presents a lethal threat to aquifers, since all drill wells, without exception, all drill wells fail over time, and most will fail sooner rather than later. The EPA does nothing whatsoever, nothing. So handing over to this irresponsible body is completely unacceptable. Chamber's irresponsible position exhibits the most incomprehensible trust in government, that in the light of incontestable evidence confirming fracking as a clear and present danger, which is fully understood by government, is not only foolhardy, but it is perilous. We have the ever-amassing case histories, witness testimony, the horrific negative impacts and environmental damage reports that confirm all of the aforementioned beyond doubt. Now, all of those, and this is an ever-growing mass, an ever-growing majority that are aware of this obvious threat, are incredulous at Chamber's head-in-the-sand attitude of willful ignorance. As purported business leaders, this deeply regrettable decision is misguided to the point of being comparable to turkeys voting for an early Christmas. We are deeply, deeply disappointed with the Chamber's response on this, and we'll be asking the Cervantes community to make their displeasure known and perhaps ask the Chamber to rethink this reckless, foolhardy decision. Thank you.